Hey guys, it's Kaz here, and today I'm going to be going through all of the books still on my 2022 TBR. So, on the one hand, I'm doing really well. I've got 9 books left. I started with 22. If you work out the time that we're at in the year, it's pretty much spot on. I'm on track. On the other hand, it's going to become very apparent which books I still have left on this list. And it's all the bigger ones. Not massive, but the bigger ones. The ones that are going to take longer to read. There's a bit of a theme going on. Also, most of them are the fantasy ones, although on the flip side of that, I did have more fantasy books on the list than any other genre, so it makes sense. But yeah, let's just get into it, and I figure if I talk about these books now, that maybe 1 or 2 of them will jump out, and then I'll be like, oh, that's the one I'm going to pick up next month. So yeah, let's see which ones my brain says, yes, let's do that soon. Now, let's read it. So first of all, I have the only graphic novel comic type thing on the list, and that is From Hell by Alan Moore and Eddie Campbell. This one is a graphic novel about Jack the Ripper. It was turned into a film quite a few years ago. I've seen it quite a few times. This one I have specifically not picked up because the Get Graphic With It readathon normally has a prompt that says to read a graphic novel over a certain amount of pages, so I figure I'll leave this one to the side for that. So I've like actively decided not to pick this up yet. But yeah, it's about Jack the Ripper, it's about the crimes, and then it picks out a certain person that was Jack the Ripper. Obviously there's no proof or truth in that because nobody knows. And let me just show you the artwork in here. It's very minimalistic, black and white, so I don't know how much that is going to affect my enjoyment of this, but we shall see whenever, hopefully, the Get Graphic or the readathon happens. Next up I have The Burning Kingdom by Sally Green. This is the 3rd book in the Dream Thieves, not the Dream Thieves, that's Maggie Stiefvater. This is the 3rd book in the Smoke Thieves. And although this one is not very big, I have told myself I'm going to reread the first 2 books in this series. Because it's been a while, I know, like I remember probably the overarching thing, but there'll be loads of little character things and loads of little things that happened that I just don't remember. So I've told myself I'm going to reread the first 2 books, which is probably why I've been putting this one off. Which makes no sense because I need to read them, because I need to read 3 books in one in this one. So get it read, you know? You know what I mean? But this series is about a bunch of different characters. It's multiple perspectives. There's politics and royalty and demons, as you can tell, because it's this, well, you can't tell because this one doesn't say anything about demons. But there's demons, and then you take the smoke from the demons and it works as like a drug. So there's people that go and try and get the demon smoke so they can sell it on. And yeah, it's a good time. I enjoyed the first 2 books and I definitely want to get back into this, reread them, and then finish the trilogy up and see what's going on. Next up I have Hannibal by Thomas Harris. This is the 3rd in the Hannibal Lecter series. Last year I read Silence of the Lambs. The year before I read Red Dragon. So this is like a 1 a year thing. I put one on my TBR and then I read it. And I really enjoyed the other 2 books. And I know I'm going to really enjoy this one. I went into the series like 2 years ago starting it thinking like, am I going to enjoy it? Is it going to be really sort of lyrically or explainy, or, you know, sometimes when it's like adult books it's just like boring, if you know what I mean, sometimes. But this series is really easy to read, it's really engaging, it's like smash through it. So yeah, I am looking forward to this one, and there's no point in me saying it because I'm going to say of all these, but I don't know why I haven't read it yet. So yeah, Hannibal Lecter, 3rd book in the series. Let's get it read. Next up I have Seal the Worm by Adrian Tchaikovsky. This is the 10th and last book in the Shadows of the App series. So I am really looking forward to this one because I really need to know what's going on, what's happening. Like I say, it's the last book in the series. Everything's going to wrap up, stuff's going to happen, stuff's going to kick off, and I'm really looking forward to reading this one. Again, I don't know why I've been putting it off because I really want to know what happens. And I always very much enjoy these books when I read them, so hopefully I'll read it soon. I can't really say much about this. We're 10 books in, but this series in general is just really cool and really different. It has this unique thing about it that all of the different characters, all the different races have something to do with bugs. So you've got the ant kingdom and they can all read each other's mind, and then you have like the wasp kingdom and they can all fly and they can shoot a sting out of their hand, like a pew, pew, pew. And then it's just really cool because all these different kingdoms have different powers relating to the sort of insect or thing that they've not come from, because they are humans, but that they're sort of related to. And it's just really cool, like the magic system and the race system is really cool. Talking about magic, there's also apt and inapt people. So apt people are just like the regular Joe. It's steampunk, so technology's advancing, they're building stuff. It's also very war based, so like a lot of the stuff they're building is for war, weapons, machinery, things to get you from A to B better. And then the inapt can't do any of that, but they're magic. But then a lot of the apt people don't believe in magic, even though the inapt are actual magic people. And the inapt can't comprehend that so much that, like, if there's a lock on the door, they don't know how to open the door because they can't comprehend the lock mechanism. It's really cool, it's really interesting. If you like long series, then give it a read. Also, the first book, in my opinion, is like the weakest of the bunch, so if you like it but not love it, definitely carry it on, because after that it gets brilliant. Next, I have Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton. This is very self-explanatory. It's Jurassic Park. You've heard of it, you know it, you've probably seen the film. I have. I like the film. I've heard that this is quite different to the film, so I'm very much interested in seeing what difference is. I'm sure there's still going to be dinosaurs, but then what's going to happen with the dinosaurs and how's it going to progress and what's the end goal? I don't know. It's going to be interesting, hopefully. I've never read a book with dinosaurs in it, so boom, Jurassic Park, brilliant place to start, I'm sure. We're halfway through, so let's just nip on over to a message from the spons, and then I shall be back with the last bunch of books. Excuse me, that is my desk. It's full of crap, I know, but that doesn't mean you should take the space that's left on my desk. Excuse me. Excuse me. Next, I have Scorpio Races by Maggie Stiefvater. This is a standalone book. Honestly, I don't really know anything about it apart from there's horses and they're racing. I don't know anything about it. I don't need to. It's Maggie Stiefvater. I very much enjoy Maggie Stiefvater's writing and her worlds and her characters and the stuff that she does. So I'm sure this book will be great. I'm hoping this book will be great. But it's a standalone and there's really no reason that I haven't read it yet. But say that about all books, you know what I mean? Next up, I have Revengeful by V. Schwab. To be honest, it's been a little while since I read Vicious, so I can't really remember a bunch of it, but I don't want to reread it, but I probably should. But then it's like another reread on it, my TBR, and I'm like, So yeah, this one is the sequel to Vicious. And in Vicious, there's these two characters and they figure out how to gain superpowers. You have to like push yourself to the brink of death and then come back. And then there's a whole rival between them two and they're both just like trying to kill each other and stuff. All that jazz. And then there's other characters that jump in and get involved. And I very much enjoyed it. It's been quite a few years and then this is the sequel. So I think I'm probably going to like start reading this, and then if I'm really just have no clue what's going on, maybe I'll wiki it or something, or maybe I'll reread the first book. I don't know, it's quite a bit smaller than this one, we shall see. But yes, I'm looking forward to seeing where the story goes anyway. Next up, I have Bitter Blue by Kristen Shaw. This is the third book in the Graceling series. I very much enjoyed the first two books. Also, I feel like this series keeps getting longer and longer. Like, I thought it was a trilogy and then there was another book and now there's another book as well, which I'm not mad about, but I'm just like, what? When did that happen? But yes, Graceling in general, the way it's set out, it's like they're sort of companion novels, but also there's a little bit of like threading through. The first book will have a little bit to do with this one because the second book is like a prequel with completely different characters and stuff happening, and this book we're back in the world of where Graceling was set several years later, so I'm figuring that there's probably going to be a few characters that in here that we see in that one. I mean, I know there is because it's literally called Bitter Blue. But other than that, I don't really know what's going to go on in this book. I know certain things about what Bitter Blue, what this means from the first book, but other than that I don't know what's going to be happening, where this heading, which I'm not mad about. I don't need to know all the synopsis. It's fun to just go into books and read them and hopefully enjoy them, and this is one of those ones. And then last but not least, I have Mindhunter by John Douglas and Mark Olshaker. This is true crime, non-fiction. If you've seen Mindhunter on Netflix, this is what it's based on. If you haven't seen Mindhunter on Netflix, go and watch it because it's amazing. But yeah, these are FBI agents that like coined serial killers, that came up with profiling and how all that stuff happened. So hopefully it's going to be really interesting. I'm hoping that it's going to be more on the interesting side and not on the like overly explainy, overly scientific, overly, you know, boring. I'm hoping it's going to fit on this side of the thing. I'm pretty sure it will do, hopefully. I think that's what's been keeping me at bay at this bit. I'm like, I really want to read it, I really want to know what's going on, but I don't want it to be really academic, analytical, you know, boring. But fingers crossed it's not going to be. So there we go. Those are all the books that are still on my 2022 TBR. Of course, let me know down below which one you think I should pick up next. I won't necessarily listen to you, but if you say something and then be like, oh, it's because it's really good, then maybe it'll be like, I'll reach for that one then. But yeah, say something down below, I will reply. Let me know what I should read, all that jazz. Obviously I'm going to read all of them, but where shall I start? And yeah, if this is your first video by me and you enjoy it, then please check out some of my others. And if you continue to enjoy, please subscribe, that'd be awesome. Anyway guys, I'll see you in a few days with another video.